everyone, it's Vicky. Today I am sewing up a bunny. So I spent some time watching TV and knitting all the bunny body parts, and now I've decided to just sew it up together with the camera running. So I'm using a pattern by Fuzzy Mitten, and I'll put the link down below. The pattern that is written by Little Cotton Rabbits is very similar, just a bit bigger. And I counted up, this is my 20th bunny that looks like this. So as I say, I've used different patterns, and this is a 20th bunny that's got these little feet. I love these feet. So I'm starting by sewing up that top part, the gap. And if you've knit this pattern before, you will be familiar with the part that I'm talking about. If you aren't, then I'm just sewing up different parts of the foot. And if it looks a bit like spaghetti, because there's so many long threads, I do that on purpose. I leave extra long threads so I can use them to sew my bunny up. So I don't ever cut a piece of yarn or thread to sew up my bunny. I always make sure there's enough leftover threads from my knitting so that I don't have too many ends to join. And I've tried to divide my stuffing evenly, so I've got the exact amount for both the feet and for both the arms, because I'm not very good at guessing, and sometimes I will have a leg that's a bit fuller than the other one. So the easiest way to get around this is just to divide out your batting as you're starting in half, and so you know how much to put in each leg and in each arm. And so now I'm working on the body, and you'll see that when I finish stuffing like those legs, I've tied the threads in a knot, and then I've just left them attached. I'm going to use those to attach the legs to the body. And the same with the body. I'm only going to start weaving in the ends when I'm finished with sewing in an item in that area. So you'll see now when I sew the legs on. And I don't sew on a pom-pom tail. A lot of my bunnies have gone to babies, and I'm not comfortable with how secure a tail would be sewn on. I feel like a bit of chewing and that thing could just fall apart. So I don't worry about putting a tail on my bunnies. You can see it's a bunny because it's got floppy ears. And so there's the body and the legs. So now I'm going to work on those arms. I don't overstuff the arms and I don't overstuff the legs. These legs are a bit fuller than I normally make them, but I do try to leave them a little bit empty. The emptier they are, the more they can move, which is very helpful if you wanted your animals to be able to sit or pose. They pose and sit better if the arms and legs aren't stuffed too full. Also, you can see I'm using a white stuffing. If you overstuff, you will be able to see the stuffing through the knitting. I've knit mine on a 3mm needle, so it's given a very tight fabric. I think the pattern recommends a 4mm needle, but I work with a 3mm needle and a double knit yarn. Sometimes I attach the head first before I attach the arms, but today I decided I'll just attach the arms. The most important thing with the arms and legs is that you sew them opposite each other. Sometimes you can be so busy sewing them that you're not watching and suddenly they're not in the right place. And then it's just easier to unpick them and re-sew them. But you can see I managed to get them quite symmetrical here, so I didn't have to unpick anything. Now I am going to leave those longer threads just in case I need some more when I'm sewing down the head. But I weave in the smaller threads now. And now for the head, I'm going to sew the back of the head towards the neck. Then I'm going to take my needle out and I'm going to sew from the nose towards the neck. And I'm going to leave that neck space open and I'm going to stuff my stuffing inside there. And I will sew it open onto the body. If you find your little head is flopping around too much, you need to add more stuffing. So I actually stuff the head quite full so that there's not a lot of space for that neck to flop around too much. And then I sew quite a big area down to join it to its body. So it's not a small neck area, it's quite a wide neck area. That also helps keep the head stable. It helps at this point to just squeeze out that little nose area a bit. And I always enjoy this part where I sew on the ears because I can see the end is finally in sight. and I'm using this embroidery cotton to embroider my little bunny's eyes and nose and mouth. It is just one strand, so I haven't taken it apart or anything, and I'm doing 2 French knots for the eyes. And you saw I did like a Y-shaped stitch for the nose and the mouth area. And I will need to dress this bunny quite soon, but the bunny is made and I'm really happy with the way it looks. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. Bye.